Hello everyone, The Walking Virus here, and today it's time to go over the top with a vampire-inspired anime Souls-like. But what aspects got the blood pumping and which ones sucked the fun out of everything? Let's find out. This is the good, the bad, and the bland of Code Vein. Code Vein was developed by Bandai Namco Studios and plays like a combination of Dark Souls and a more traditional action JRPG, with the normal combat and exploratory trappings of the Souls-like genre, but with a much heavier focus on a story that starts with the player and their ever-growing group of vampire friends trying to figure out better ways to survive and solve the problems of post-apocalyptic vampire life. Code Vein also features a wide variety of character classes which unlock steadily throughout the game and can be changed on the fly. In addition, it takes a simplistic approach to leveling, focusing on an overall level rather than leveling individual stats. But now that all the exposition is out of the way, let's talk about what Code Vein did well. The first thing that immediately caught my attention was the robust character creator, which gives players a plethora of options in regards to colors, hairstyles, accessories, and the ability to modify and place those items however you see fit, allowing for some rather creative uses of the items that are available. The ability to change classes on the fly allows players a lot of flexibility with their playstyles, and lets them try to find the one that fits them best at any given point without punishing them for experimenting. I also particularly enjoyed the idea behind the delivery of side stories, which has the player diving into memories to flesh out the world's lore and the characters that tag along with you. There's also a lot of really over-the-top camera work, story moments, and little details that really sell the anime aesthetic the game is going for. But the next question is, what types of problems flow beneath the surface of the game? There is unfortunately a lot of visual clipping, which can be funny when creating your character, but usually just ends up being incredibly distracting. The plot also has a bit of pacing problem in the first act, with exposition being dumped in large quantities throughout, something the game was at least aware of as you can revisit cutscenes in your hub world with notes about the terms used in each one. And while the memory diving I mentioned earlier was a neat idea, the execution left a bit to be desired, with each memory kind of involving the character slowly moving throughout a mostly dark stage, while still images and dialogue provide the context clues to help understand what's happening. And while you can rewatch previous cutscenes to recap the story, there appears to be no way to do that with these memory sequences should you accidentally skip one, or want to recap on a character's backstory. I also found the slight lack of variety in the enemy design to be a bit disappointing, as it seemed like there could have been a lot of really interesting design ideas to work with. But I feel like I've bled this vein dry enough, so let's talk about the parts that I felt were stagnant. The level designs felt very hit or miss, with certain areas looking very samey and making me incredibly glad I had a map, although the map felt hit or miss as well, usually being either too small or too large to make proper use of it for plotting purposes. The game also has a severe tendency to try to hide enemies around corners to ambush you, to the point where it's almost every single corner that it happens. There was also a few times when the frame rate absolutely tanked, but it never consistently happened, and only during some cutscenes or memories. Now on to the wrap-up. Code Vein provides an interesting take on a Souls-like that sacrifices some of the difficulty typically involved in the genre in exchange for some over-the-top anime shenanigans, and while there were a few missteps along the way, I found it to be an enjoyable experience overall, and one that I'm glad I went through. So if you're looking for a more methodical anime action game or an easier Souls-like, I would definitely recommend picking this one up. But I'd love to hear your thoughts. If you've played Code Vein or if it's piqued your interest, let me know what you think in the comments below. Thanks so much for watching everyone, and until next time, keep gaming.